All Apocalypses, a show where we explore the collapse of society by playing fun tabletop role-playing games. I'm your host, Stu Masterson, and I'm joined by two bluegrass instruments.
Do I need to start? Do I need to start while one of our bluegrass instruments just sings our intro? Okay. I am Cowbell, and I play Ocean, a gentle giant who just does not seem to understand Jeopardy.
Honk. Hey everyone, I am a banjo. I'm Banjo Brad, and
That's
I
not
play
your
Buck
name.
McCready, the brain picker bloodhound who is hunting for the mysteries of his lost parents. Getting pretty close on this one. He can smell his dad.
I can smell it.
Hey, do you guys remember that one time we just played Jeopardy instead of doing an episode?
That was my favorite episode by about 100 out of 200 episodes.
It's pretty dang good.
I have an important thing that I forgot about that last episode. I talked to Brady about this already, but there was actually a song that inspired that whole record skip moment. My favorite thing I've ever done of all time, even though no one else is going to like it. And that is the song. And I want you to try to sing it off the top of your head right now.
Oh no.
That song is Raise Your Glass by Pink, is actually what inspired the entire segment, because I realized listening to it that I knew none of the words in the entire lyrics, even though I sing along to it every time.
So raise your glass if you are wrong in all the right ways. And we will never be anything but and never did be dirty little
I gotta get a
freaks.
drink. I'll be back.
Coming in.
Now, while Jacob's gone, thank you, Brady. While Jacob's gone, there was another one that I thought of that I didn't include, and I can't remember what it was. It's a Nickelback song, but I realized I knew one of their most famous ones.
Photograph.
No, not Photograph.
That's the only one I know.
It is How You Remind Me by Nickelback, the chorus of that one. I feel like I know all of the words, but I really don't know any of them. I'm probably cutting all this out.
Wait, sing some of it.
It's not like you to say sorry. I'm waiting on a different story. Keep going. See if you know any of the words.
And the heart was breaking, and I've been down, I've been wrong, been to the bottom of every bottle. It's not what's in my head, to reality, yeah.
You nailed it. You did exactly the parts I didn't know perfectly.
Jacob, were you wearing that cardigan when you first got on? Or did you just
I've
put
been
on
wearing this cardigan this whole time. Newsflash.
I like it.
I bought it and it was and the picture is kind of misled because I thought it was like a regular cardigan. This thing is freaking long. Look how long this damn cardigan is. Let me stand up. Let me land this thing up. It's like this shit's basically a coat, bathrobe.
For our listeners, Jacob is standing on his desk chair to show us the forever lazy that he has put on himself, claiming it was a cardigan.
Does it have any buttons?
No buttons. It
looks like it should have buttons, but it
probably should. But it was like $20 on Amazon. So
okay, with your headset on and that very long cardigan, you look like a director sitting in like his little director seat, looking at the tiny little screen. You do kind of look like Peter Jackson and Guillermo del Toro had a love child, and
I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult.
Well, no, I don't mean like from a size perspective, but I mean like facial features. I feel like you and the vibe with the cardigan. I don't know. I'm seeing it.
I mean, if I had the brain of Guillermo del Toro and Peter Jackson, I'd be pretty satisfied.
It was intended as a compliment.
Did you know that his name in English is William the Bull?
It wouldn't be William of the Bull?
William the Bull.
Of the Bull.
That's a new twist on my favorite joke, which is, that Ariana Grande in English is Arnie Large. Which is by far my favorite joke.
Arnie Large? Wait, Ariana and Arnie aren't the same?
That's why it's a joke, Brady. I'm sorry, I'll draw you a diagram.
Fine.
This week on BuzzFeed Presents Apocalypse, we have a question that we like to pass around and try to get into the minds and insight of all of our favorite players here. And this week it's brought to us by me.
Ooh.
And my question is, if you were to die...
Oh, shit. Foreboding.
Good start. I feel like this is going to become relevant in this episode, so I thought I should
what
talk
you
about
trying to
it.
imply about our chances in the near future with these upcoming the upcoming tasks you're gonna throw at us?
I'll be a little nicer. Let me rephrase. If you knew you were going to die soon and someone came to you and said, "Hey, I'm a big fan. We're going to commission a statue for you." Where would you want it to be put? And what position would you want to be in?
It's a good question. It sounds bad when I say it aloud, but it makes sense to me for Ocean, and it's what I think he would want. I think your cat looks like it has a mustache.
I think you mean
like
a
an actual
goatee.
full-blown mustache.
I think at this point, I would rather have a cat on the podcast than Brady, and it would be less disruptive. Hearing the cat randomly paw at the microphone and rip things out and having to edit out those sounds would be way better than the current situation, which is just half the time Brady's holding a cat between him and the microphone.
But to go back to my answer, I think Oceans would want his statue in a nice, big, very well used junkyard. And I think he'd be in the pose of just looking around, one hand above his eye, looking. So it looks like he's just always going to be there, scrounging for cool things in the trash. That strikes me as the Ocean's dream.
Would you, so in your mind's eye, when you're picturing the like best form of this, is it like a prominent statue surrounded by a massive junkyard, or is this like a hidden treasure someone stumbles across while in a junkyard?
It'd be a hidden treasure. I think Ocean would want it to be a hidden treasure, because people who truly want to honor his memory, he's a guy that likes finding things and searching for stuff. So he'd want the people that want to come honor him to actually have to come try and find them, you know?
I like it. I think that's a very good answer. Brady's cat, who I believe's name is Bradleton.
I'm trying to do a face morph of Guillermo del Toro and Peter Jackson so we can see if it looks like Jacob at all.
Okay. All right, kitty kitty meow meow. What is your answer to Stu's question?
Okay, if Flint my cat was to die, very
No one
sad,
cares about your cat.
I would get a taxidermy of him
Oh God!
in a position of him like perfectly like laid on my chest like he was just now, and then I would tape that taxidermied version of him to my chest permanently.
I think
So even in death, he can ruin our podcast recordings.
He's not ruining anything. He's just got itchy eyes sometimes. You got itchy eyes? Yeah.
What would Book's statue? What would Book want his statue to be?
All right. Book statue would be him. Does it have to? Can he say that he would not want a statue of himself?
No, incorrect answer. You know you're getting a statue. It's already been paid for. They can't donate it to a choice.
Okay. I think he would want like sort of an impressionistic, like maybe minimalist or like very kind of angular statue of himself, like in his trench coat, and maybe just have like kind of like a cane leaning, or like an adventurous cane stance, or maybe his cane sword would be at like a half draw.
Where would your statue be?
His statue would be like right outside of the broken leg. Like it'd be inconvenient to get inside because of how close outside it would be.
That's
like
good.
You'd have to climb over his statue to get inside.
It would be visually striking if you like your statue was like your new metal parts all removed. So it's just like your human parts left. You had like big gaping holes in it. That'd be pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that would work into the impressionistic part.
Yeah, when you started describing it, that's when I thought of that. That'd be cool. My answer is, if anyone's been to Richmond, they have this Monument Drive that used to have a bunch of racists and monuments there. They've luckily taken all of those down. But the one that remains is my favorite statue of all time, which is an Arthur Ashe statue. And I would like to have my statue be directly one street down from him in 100% the same pose as him, which, if anyone is not familiar, you should Google it, and I will post an image of it in our chat, where it looks like he's about to beat the shit out of a bunch of kids with a racket and a book.
And you just want a face replacement of you.
Except instead of a book and a racket, of course, you all know what I'm going to say. It's going to be a
keytar and a guitar.
And with that, let's get back to the action. Last episode, you beat up Jared Leto. That was mostly Ocean. I don't know what Book did, but that was the most important thing that happened. And right after, you tackled him to the ground and started choking the life out of him. I'm guessing you would have stopped before he actually died, but
Book slaps in his Healy wheels and Heelys in front of the camera and says, "That's all, folks." And he spins the camera away.
And right as it spins away, it's like you taking the camera off of the focus causes everything to just go dark. And you're immediately back in the green room. Your Healy wheels are still out, but you're standing on your toes. And Ocean, you're upright, just kind of shaking your head, even though you feel the sweat of Jared Leto on your fingertips still.
Wait, we're back in the green room?
Yes.
Where did Mike go?
You look around. There's no Mike.
Was Mike real?
I asked him if he was real.
I mean, if you didn't.
But he was there. He was there during the commercial breaks.
Yes. You also, yes. That's all. I guess that's all I'll say. I was going to tell you more stuff, but yeah, all this is true. Nailed it. You guys are paying attention. Thumbs up.
But wait, was Jared Leto there during the commercial breaks?
Jared Leto was not there during the commercial breaks. During your commercial break, it was that classic, everything goes dark. You're in like a big open room.
And Mike was there.
Anything. And Mike was there, yes.
But Mike is not in the green room right now.
I assume there's got to be more people auditioning.
He's got to be in another green room.
Mission Save Mike is a go. What's your plan?
Don't give a fuck about Mike. Mike sucked. Mike sucked so hard. His story at the start was so stupid. Hated that fucking guy. Okay, Stu, is my PP for police procedural on the fucking door frame or not?
You see it. It looks like it was painted over, but not well. It's like green, but it looks kind of like the job that if you've ever been in a shitty apartment before that they do before you get there, where they just like paint over your
they just paint over
outlets.
everything. Mm-hmm.
It looks, everything else looks nice, but that area looks like that. But you see just barely under the PP you wrote, you see some other words and it says poo poo LOL.
Is it in a handwriting that I recognize?
It is not.
Interesting. Book shuts his eyes really hard, but he only has one eye that can close now. And he thinks peppermint, 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 peppermint.
Book, what the hell are you doing?
Give me an act under fire roll.
What?
That's the one you're good at.
Act under fire.
Oh shit, I need to find my dice too.
You guys haven't used dice in like 3.5 hours of recording time.
That was 2 4s plus 3, 11.
Okay, what are you visualizing and trying to like bring to your mind? Your success was so good that it's going to be better than you wanted. But what were you trying to like fully encompass this feeling? You know, before it somehow like magically knew what really you wanted in your heart with that bowl of mac and cheese. You know, then after that, it was Gatorade after just seeing how delicious and thirst quenching it was and experiencing it firsthand and knowing that it recharges all of your electrolytes. You knew that had to show up there. So this needs to be something you want in your heart, not just the simple peppermint, peppermint, peppermint.
So I don't think Book knows like what a peppermint plant is. So I think he is thinking of like pepper, like the very expensive.
The worst answer you could give me. Keep going.
Yeah. No, this is intentional. He's thinking of like pepper, which is what are salt and pepper? What are they
Seasonings.
called? Seasonings. Yes, pepper, which is a seasoning worth its weight in gold, and like mint, like a breath mint, because I don't think he knows what a mint plant is either.
Ocean, what do you want in your heart? What does your tummy want? Or a thirsty thirst? Anything like that. Could be a snack if you're not like hungry because you had an entire steak today.
Yeah, he's pretty full.
Snack for you.
He wants a nice drink, so I think he's just imagining like a nice big glass veil.
Oh, it's Frosty on the table. So you see there's this big Frosty. It looks like when the Hobbit is holding a pint, but for you size on the table. Oof. But I guess I could just say a normal Stein size.
No, I get you, because that scene in Lord of the Rings always makes me like, man, I could really go for some ale.
Yeah. And then right across from that, you see an entire carton of Camel Crushes, which for my people in the audience who've never smoked before are cigarettes that have a little menthol bead in the end you can break to make it taste like burning.
Wait, do you have to like chew it to break it?
That's how cool people do it. Yeah.
Okay. So Book has seen cigarettes before.
They're for teenagers.
Like most flavored cigarettes, it's just a way to get teenagers to start smoking.
Okay, Stu. So I think Book has seen cigarettes before, so he investigates these. Is there a lighter on the table?
Yes. It's a super fancy one.
Oh, well, Book is keeping that.
Oh, you've solved my puzzle. Yeah, it's real.
Book licks it.
It tastes like butane.
Okay. I don't know how these things are showing up. Okay. How many cigarettes are there?
A whole carton.
Are you saying like a carton as in like several packs in one of those
Yes,
long
a carton
boxes?
That's the long box.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's 20 per pack. So it's quite a lot.
Book puts a pack in his pocket for later. Then he takes back. We have 30 minutes again.
Yes, 30-minute counter. It says adventure with an exclamation point in the 30-minute count.
Okay, so Book starts investigating the cigarettes, and then he starts extracting the beads. He gets all of the beads from all of the cigarettes, and he splits them evenly between the two packs. So we have like two. What were those tiny boxes of mints that were shaped like pills? Tic Tacs. He has like two giant Tic Tac containers full of those beads.
Ocean just watches as he drinks from his stein.
Can I have a sip of that?
Yeah, if you can tell me what the hell you're doing. Next round starts. You think you'd be researching what we need to be knowing I think this is the one we want to take seriously.
Book gets closer to Ocean and he says, okay, we gotta like make some noise so they can't listen in. So he starts like banging like the table and shit. And then he's like talking to Ocean. He's like, so Ocean. And then he's making banging sound. He's like, okay, so like the bone gas, when I was talking to who was I talking to? Randy Candy. I was talking to Randy Candy. And Randy Candy was talking to, he's the weird guy.
Intaglio. And
Intaglio said that he thinks that peppermint can counteract bone gas.
But those are menthol cigarettes.
Well, they're menthol cigarettes with these. What are those actual beads called?
I don't fucking know. Camel Crushy boys.
These Camel Crush beads.
Menthol balls.
They're menthol balls.
Menthol popping boba.
Hoping that they will have the same effect as a bunch of peppermint, whatever peppermint is. So what we're going to do is before we get into the elevator to go to the next thing, we are going to crush as many of these in our mouth as we can and hopefully counteract the bone gas.
Googling how many of these will it take to kill a man.
Stu Book also wants to write under where someone wrote like poo poo hee hee.
Yes.
He writes who with a question mark.
Okay. Excellent.
Or
I like it.
Who you?
In the other 30 minutes, rest of the time here, your money for the last show you did is dispensed. So just for playing Jeopardy, you get the amount of money you would have won from Jeopardy. So Book, you got second place and less than $2,000, which means you get $2,000. That's how Jeopardy works. Ocean, for you got third place and less than $1,000, so you got $1,000. Book and Ocean, you both get $2,000 for your normal rate of doing a show, just like you did for the first one. Ocean, you get $5,000 for having the highest viewed Jeopardy clip on PowerTube of all time for when you beat the shit out of Jared Leto. That was big fans.
Hell yeah.
Book, you get $5,000 for correcting me when I didn't remove money from you, like a very good movie. So you showed a lot of integrity that Jared Leto really liked. He wrote a little note down for you before he disappeared into nothingness that you're a good dude.
What does Jared Leto know of integrity?
Nothing.
Ocean looks at his money and then looks how he got a bonus for beating up Jared Leto. And he shrugs and goes, shit, I would have done that for free.
When you take the money out, as soon as it goes into your hands, there's like a section of the wall that rotates like a hidden bookcase from a murder mystery. And on the other side are these series of vending machines with various items in it that accept Tower Bucks in them. So you can spend your Tower Bucks, if you would like to, on these items I'm about to send you in chat.
Are there fucking peppermints?
There are a series of peppermint patties.
Oh my God. I wasted my food on Camel Crush cigarette.
You see, there's actually all of the options that you would be able to get from a typical movie theater, also at movie theater prices.
I could buy all of this.
You could buy all this?
Yeah, dude, we got a lot of money. I have almost 17,000 Tower Bucks. Oh wait, no, I couldn't buy all of it. I didn't realize that I saw the prices go back down and then go back up.
Yeah, they're not cheap. Oh, some of these are super nifty.
We can buy flamethrowers. Yes. Oh, okay, we should read these for the listeners. All right, listeners. So our options from the Tower Bucks vending machine are autonomous eye spider drone, $5,000. Blowtorch, 2,000 Tower Bucks, not dollars. My bad. CO2 spike gun for 2,000 Tower Bucks. Huge bore vintage revolver up my alley, 1,000 Tower Bucks. Government cheese, 20 Tower Bucks. Gatorade, 20 Tower Bucks. Pulsar, which is some type of auto firing gun, which is 5,000 tower bucks. A flamethrower for 2,000 tower bucks. A bone gas canister for 1,000 tower bucks. My first robotics kit, which adds the tech tag to the workspace, is 2,000 tower bucks. A NOS kit for vehicle, 2,000 tower bucks. And a bulletproof leotard, which is 2 armor, high tech, and sexy for 4,000 tower bucks. I'm about to do some math.
And there is also all sorts of normal stuff you'd expect from vending machines here, all spread throughout, like I mentioned.
How much are the peppermint patties?
I said movie theater prices, so $10.
Oh my god! But like that's for more than one, right? That's for a pack of like 3.
Yeah. It's
like the box
size
with like
pack.
I imagine it's the box with like the teeny tiny ones in them.
Yeah, it's Junior Mints actually. I misspoke. They don't sell York peppermint patties in most movie theaters, I don't think.
And the CO2 spike gun shoots spike.
Yes. No, it shoots CO2 and you load it with spikes. You fucking
Does it lose? Is it like a spike is it like the thing that they use to kill sheep, or does it actually like shoot them as a projectile?
2 harm, close reload. So you don't lose the spike forever, but it's likely you'll have to reload it.
Behooves us to spend as much money as we can, right?
You cannot imagine many situations where this money will be useful in the future.
Hell yeah. Okay.
If you guys are successful. If you guys fail, this is going to be the main currency of the entire undertaking. What are your guys' final selections as you hit the buttons on the vending machine? Just like you have to hit like A8, and then a big thick spring slowly pushes out a huge bore vintage revolver that falls into a tray at the bottom. What are you guys getting total?
Ocean is very sheepishly buying a bulletproof leotard, and then with much more confidence buying a NOS kit, Paul Walker themed, a huge bore revolver, the pulser, a canister of bone gas, and some government cheese.
Good choices. I think the only one I have to explain in case I edit out the 20-minute conversation we just had is a pulser is a high-tech, unreliable weapon that does a lot of harm and can shoot at pretty much any range.
Okay, I'm getting an autonomous eye spy drone. Spider drone. Sorry, not spy drone. I'm getting a bulletproof leotard, a robotics kit, bone gas, a blowtorch, a CO2 spike gun, 5 bottles of Gatorade, 10... Wait, you said they were like crates of cheese?
Small crates. I would say like a wheel size, but not wheel shape.
Two crates of government cheese. Then I'm getting 10 packs of peppermint patties, getting 1 dinosaur backpack, some extra spikes and CO2 canisters for the CO2 spike gun. So I'm going to spend 200 on a cool hatchet / tomahawk. And I'm going to get like a cool utility knife, like a pocket knife, but like more of a Leatherman for another 200.
To replace the one that you broke 74 episodes ago.
Exactly.
Excellent. I think that is a good choice. So with that final item clinking down the vending machine, you hear a beep beep. You used all your time. You don't have time to Google anything.
What?
Playing with stuff.
No, Stu. Wait, Stu. I had one thing I wanted to do.
Oh, no, you can do things. They have yet to force you into the elevator. You guys have walked under your own volition every time.
I want to use my robotics kit to investigate the eye drone and the weapons and see if there's any like tower surveillance or tower countermeasures that would like allow them to spy in on what we're doing or like prevent me from using these against other tower members.
Okay, this is going to be very difficult to do fast enough, so give me a try something challenging.
I just had what am I rolling for that? Try something challenging. Rolling plus aggro. That's a 0. Okay, here we go. No whammy.
Whammy.
I rolled a 5.
5 plus 0 is a failure. You look at it and you don't have enough time to even really use this electronics kit. You start trying to open it and everything is like individually wrapped and in like a little tray. It's like buying a way too expensive board game, and you start trying to do it while this thing starts beeping a little louder at you, and you just have to kind of look through the items as best you can, and you don't see anything wrong with them.
I don't like that because I failed.
Yeah, but Book doesn't know that.
Yeah, that's true. I shove everything into my dinosaur backpack.
Throw it away. These are tainted.
No. Like I pack it away nicely, but like so like I got some Gatorade in case we get separated and need to survive for a little bit. I got some government cheese. I got my peppermint patties. Fuck, I just dropped my dice. It's gone
I should have
forever.
bought some extra dice.
And I pack everything nicely into my dinosaur backpack so that I can carry it all with me at all times.
The dinging is getting a little more aggressive. It was very pleasant the first time, but now it's like beep beep. It's not like bad, but it's like a Android alarm, not like an Apple alarm yet. But you feel like it's moving towards Apple alarm sounds.
All right, Stu. As we approach the elevator, I shove a pack of peppermint patties into Ocean's hand. I'm like, chew these up, but don't swallow. And then I pour. I eat a bunch myself, right? And then I also pour a bunch of the beads into my mouth, and I'm chewing up the peppermint patty and the beads. I'm assuming my mouth feels like it's on icy fire.
It is horrendous. Yeah, as you're chewing these mouthfuls of these beads, they all just like pop.
The last thing I do before I get into the elevators too is I crack 2 of the beads and I stick them up my nose, and then I get in.
Yeah, Ocean looks at you with a mix of concern and curiosity.
Act under fire for keeping your cool with all of this cool minty things inside of you. Are you doing anything with the like camel crush beads, Ocean? Or are you just chewing some peppermint patties and hoping that'll get you through it?
He's gonna just copy he's gonna shrug and just copy what Book does.
Okay. You also give me an act under fire then as well.
I rolled a 9 plus 3 is 12.
New Ocean's very cool.
Excellent.
So. Oh God, let's see if New Ocean's coolness can save me. No, that's only a 5. Oh.
A 5 total.
Can I help by shoving beads up his nose?
It'll only push me to a 6 though.
This first one was if you can even handle this much mint. So Book, your eyes are watering. You look like you're having a terrible time, but you are keeping it together. You're putting more in your mouth. You like can barely breathe. Every time you breathe in, it feels like an Arctic tundra is blasting, not just through your throat, but through your sinuses, through your nostrils. You feel like it may be in your ears somehow. And like when you shake your head, you feel it rattling around back there. It's hard to breathe. Ocean, you immediately start like spitting it up. Like you just can't. Like you cannot put more of these in your mouth as you walk into the elevator. Are you guys pushing the button?
Yes.
Okay. As you push the button, again, there's a ding and then there's a release of bone gas. Both of you give me an act under fire roll. Book, you have advantage because you're able to keep this ridiculous amount of peppermint in you. Ocean, you're still very minty, so you're able to try to make this roll.
That is a 9.
I also rolled a 9.
Ooh, okay. You guys are all minted up. And there's this blast of bone gas. And before it was like immediately you're out. You didn't even really comprehend that it was happening. This time you remain conscious and you feel this bone gas surround inside of you. And it feels like it doesn't even need to be breathed in. You feel it absorbing into your skin. And it doesn't necessarily feel bad, but you can like feel the pressure where it goes into you. And you feel it migrating deeper and deeper into your body. But you still remain conscious.
Horrendous.
You're able to look around.
Are we going up or down?
You're going up.
Can we count the dings?
You can try to, but you're having a bad time in just a second because you feel the bone gas starts migrating towards your minty parts. You can feel it moving inside of you, up through you, and starting to kind of coalesce around your head and your eyes and your nose. But as that happens, the rest of you does feel a little bit better. You're still like able to move your arms around. Like they were starting to stiffen up a little bit, but your arms are getting a little looser, but your face and mouth is feeling terrible right now.
So you're saying the peppermint attracts the bone gas?
Yes, the peppermint is attracting.
So we did the
gas.
worst thing we could possibly do by putting it in our mouth and nose.
Oh,
you're still conscious and you can move your body, so that's an improvement.
Can I spit out? Can I start like spitting out the peppermint stuff and maybe expunge some of the bone gas?
You can try. Give me try something challenging. Are you doing anything, Ocean?
I think I spit out all the peppermint already, didn't I? Yeah, so I'm just gagging from the peppermint that I tried to take in. I'm still reeling from it. I'm holding myself up against the elevator and I'm choking.
That was an 11 plus 0. So I shoot the 2 pebbles out of my nose and I spit everything out. Do I feel better?
Not yet. Both of you are going to be taking 2 psi harm.
Oh.
So you're going to roll 2 minus your psi harm is what you're adding up.
Okay, and it's just a flat roll, right? It's just like I roll 2d6 and remove 2 from it.
Yeah.
Oof.
You can subtract your psi
Okay,
from it.
that's not helping a lot. I do have one psi.
Well, Stu, I have my deep earplugs that protect me from sources of psi harm.
Yes. Is it all sources of psi harm?
No, it says protects the wearer from all brain picker moves and gear and from many other sources of psi harm.
Okay, you can roll with advantage then, because I did say you felt it in your ears. That one's on me. I said you tried to shake it and
Well,
you
I
felt it
rolled
going around.
worse that time, so it's still exactly a 5.
Justice.
Fuck. God damn.
This is justice.
I have rolled a 3.
Okay, you rolled a 3.
God damn it. I was rolling so well the last couple sessions.
You completely lose your consciousness. It's just like before when you would get sprayed by the bone gas, where you have no concept of what happened. But this time, instead of seeing like intro music or a cutscene, you guys are immediately thrown into the action.
Oh.
You guys are in a jungle somewhere. You feel the humidity. You feel the squishy ground beneath you, and you guys are walking side by side as it starts. Give me a read a citral.
Fuck, dude, I rolled a 6.
I can help.
Do you want to try to help?
I'll help. So we're in a jungle, right? Do we have any recollection of why we're in this jungle?
Literally no idea.
So we pop up and it's just book and ocean, right? We don't have our characters. We don't know dick all. We're just in a jungle.
Yes.
Well, shit.
Just in a jungle.
Yeah, Ocean kind of shakes himself a little bit and says, well, this is going to make auditioning much more difficult. And he kind of looks around, it's like, where the hell are we? And that is a 9 to help.
You did just get assistance from Ocean that pushes your read a citral to a 7, which lets you ask me one question.
Hell fucking yes.
We're so cooked.
Remind myself what those questions are. I would like for my one question to have answered by you. What represents the best opportunity for me to find my dad?
He could be anywhere. No, I got a good answer for you. Okay. You look around. You, like I said, you maintained, I don't want to say maintained your faculties because something between you being in the elevator and being here, you lost them. But as you're here, you are just book. You're not getting any ideas of what you're supposed to be doing, but you start putting it a little bit together. You didn't have time to research these, but you have seen a lot. Your family was a big fan of action adventure movies. You've seen all the Indiana Joneses. You've even seen the series, The Adventures of Young Indiana Jones and things like that.
We saw the original Star Wars releases without all the special effects that they did.
Without all the cool songs they added.
Without the time that the camera jumped down that weird lady's throat in an entirely unnecessarily, completely CG animation.
And what you realize with you trying to understand the tropes, the situation you're in, is one, it definitely seems like a pretty gritty jungle-based adventure thing that's going on here. But unlike in the other shows that you've auditioned in, you feel like you may not be the main characters, and you may have been thrown into a cold open where it's probably pretty likely that this would be like a good situation to show someone getting murdered by something dangerous or kidnapped or something like
so
that.
We're the NPCs with a background.
And you feel like if that happens, you almost certainly won't meet your dad. So like you don't know what happens if you like die in this or if you die in real life. No one's told you that. You haven't asked that. You haven't looked into that. But you know, if you kind of go along with what you feel like you're supposed to be doing here, then you may be in a situation where you don't get to search for your dad.
Okay. Stu, is there okay. I drop down to my knees and I take out the blowtorch.
Excellent.
And I just start blowtorching the ground.
I like it.
What happens?
What are you trying to do? Just see what happens.
I'm trying to identify, is the ground real? Or am I in that room still? Like, am I in a room with a regular floor? Or is this dirt and grass and leaves that I'm like touching, are they real?
You start, give me I think this is going to be another act under fire roll.
Okay.
We're getting all our rolls in that we missed out in the last 2 episodes.
That was a 13, ladies and gentlemen.
That's very good. So you still feel you put a lot of mint inside of you, and you still feel that mintiness in your sinuses, and you kind of feel once again that bone gas kind of flowing around your body, but it's giving you some clarity, and you feel like you can just see a little bit better as you're starting to just burn away the ground. But where you look where the blowtorch is, you're just burning away swampy, muddy dirt, right? And it looks a lot like that. Like it's drying up. It's kind of caking away. It's some little pieces of moss and grass are quickly catching fire and then burning away. But as the blowtorch smoke clears and you look up, you kind of notice that on the like very extents of your vision, you kind of feel like you are in just like a big room. You see like some lights. You see what look like maybe a camera in the distance or something like that. But as you walk towards them, they don't seem to like get any closer.
Does the blowtorch like feel hot?
Yeah, it's super hot. It burns the shit out of you.
Okay. I take out the hatchet and I want to start like digging with it as a shovel.
You start digging. Ocean, you give me a read of central while you're digging.
That is a 3. Oh, snake eyes. Fucking snake eyes. Oh, Lord.
The hatchet is making quite a lot of sound, so you're not able to hear much as you're smacking into the ground, and you notice it starts sounding like you're hitting like a wood floor or something like that. Like there's resistance and it's reverberating. And while you're chopping away at that, you hear a voice next to you go, "Excellent, excellent. It seems you have found what we've been looking for." And you turn, and in full Nazi regalia and surrounded by a bunch of men with their guns drawn, and the man talking is Mike Wazowski, but dressed as a Nazi.
What?
Fucking knew it.
What?
I knew I hated him. I knew I got bad vibes from him.
"It seems you have found the hidden treasure location with your blowtorch and hatchet. How did you know this was here?"
How many Nazis are behind him?
Like 14.
I think Book backs up and like slides his hand into his pocket where his CO2 spike gun is, and he still has his hatchet in his left hand. And I think Books just runs
Just in a random direction. Just bolt.
like into the densest trees and bushes there are.
As Book runs, Ocean kicks up the shovel that Book left on the floor, catches it at hand, and swings it over his shoulder.
So you run after him.
No, he stands there between as Book runs off in front of the fort, the horde of Nazis, and says, "Well, if you want to get to him, you're gonna have to get through me."
Okay, we're going to look at you guys one at a time. So first, Book, you're running. You're just blindly running away. Is that what you're saying? Trying to get into the thickest part of the jungle?
I think he just wants to disrupt like the weird narrative aspect. So I think he doesn't go far, but I think he like jumps into the bushes and like kind of scurries away. But
Okay, give me a try something challenging. We'll see how much you scurry based on your aggro roll.
I'm rolling like shit.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I rolled a 5 + 0.
Ocean, from your perspective, Book bolts out. You get between them and you look up at Mike, Kaiser Mike, and he's like, "Where is he going? We're supposed to be going into these tunnels. What a weirdo." Hey, no, you continue breaking this open, and like no one's chasing after him. No one seems to even care that he runs. And they start prying away these big boards that are suddenly there and revealing this kind of dark cave. While you're running, you jump over a small creek and turn to look behind you, and suddenly something catches around your foot and you get yanked up into the trees. And you have been caught on a snare. So now you're dangling upside down in the trees just out of sight of
Plan did
Ocean.
not work.
And you said, what was I hopping over?
Small creek.
Okay. I think Book looks down and he sees like his real fucked up reflection as he's dangling down. You know, he's like looking below him. He's looking at this creek and he sees his real fucked up reflection. He sees how like weird he is now with his eyeball in his chest. He's like, "Oh man, I'm freaky look. I do not look like the good guy in this situation." Can I try to swing up and use my hatchet to cut the rope from around my foot?
You can certainly try that. Give me a try something challenging. It sounds difficult. I'm going to give you all your aggro experience.
I rolled a 6 + 0.
Unfortunately, you're just out of sight of Ocean, so I don't think he can help you with this. Ocean, what are you doing while he seems to be stuck there?
Yeah, I can't see him. I have no idea. He ran off into the bushes, right? And I can't see him. I mean, Ocean thought he was just trying to protect you while the Nazis ran off. So he's just going to look around and look at Mike and says, what the hell are you guys looking for in the first place?
You did not read the dossier. There is an ancient totem in here that is supposed to provide endless light. Don't you want to live forever?
I mean, Not really.
It would be pretty cool. Imagine seeing the far off future, the 1960s, the 1970s. Who knows, maybe even the 1980s.
Hey, have you seen, speaking of, if you have a dossier, have you seen this guy? And he describes what Book's dad looks like. You know this guy?
When you describe him, after you describe him for 4 sentences, he suddenly goes, oh my God. And he steps back and pulls out his revolver and he looks around in the trees and he's like, where'd you see him? And then we're going to cut back to Book. You are you're haphazardly swinging around with an hatchet, trying to chop your own, I almost said chop your own feet off, but chop the rope that's dangled around your feet off, but you are just not able to reach it. You get a couple hits on it, but the like weird angle you're at is not very conducive. And also you're realizing this hatchet is like a museum gift shop hatchet. It's not really made for cutting through a lot of stuff. It's more ornamental. And as you're swinging around, you hear a, don't worry, I'll come back for you in a second. And you look up and on the ridge they just jumped over, you see it could only be your dad. He's wearing a brown leather jacket, a dumb 20s hat, and he has a boomerang that he's holding in his hand. And he slides down over the top. And Ocean, you see flying right over your shoulder, a boomerang hurl and hit Mike right in the forehead, and he goes wah and goes cross-eyed for a second, and his glasses break and he stumbles back, and you turn around and see Charles McCready catch the boomerang back in the air after it bounces off of him, even though it's not how boomerangs work.
Ocean turns back and goes, Charles, you're here.
That's right, it's me, Charles. Boom, and then intro music, and it says The Adventures of Charles McCready, Explorer Extraordinaire. And it's these big block letters that pop up on the screen. And then there's a bunch of like tiled images of him just like running from boulders, sliding down waterfalls, hiding in a barrel from Nazis coming after him. All sorts of stuff like that are happening simultaneously. But you guys are in your dark space for a second.
Yeah, Ocean ignores that completely and runs up to Charles and grabs him by the shoulder and says, we've been looking for you, Charles. Your son. I have your son.
Ocean. Wait, no, Ocean. Fuck.
You're in the distance, actually, but you can yell.
And then I yell, yes, Charles, we have your son.
He goes, what do you mean? My son has been locked away in the Temple of 1,000 Moons, and I have to collect all 47 of the appropriate idols to be able to open it up.
Book tries to like get Ocean's attention.
Ocean looks around and says, oh.
We know where your son is, Charles. We're going to bring you to him.
The location of the Temple of 1,000 Moons only happens during the 7th lunar eclipse, and we've only reached the 5th. How could you possibly find the location?
I chuck a peppermint patty at Charles. Eat this, Charles. Just trust me.
Is this some sort of astronaut treat? Look at this.
Is Book still tied up, like in like gaffer tape or something? Or
he's oddly like upside down, but it doesn't look like there's anything connected to him. So you're not like free to move, but you're free to yell. And you are all much closer together.
Yeah, when Ocean sees all this, he comes over to Book and says, Book, what the hell are you doing? Your dad, he's right there.
Ocean, I don't want him to see me like this.
What do you mean?
Ocean, look at me.
Ocean looks at Book and he shrugs and says, I don't know what you're saying.
I'm a monster, Ocean. My eye is gone. My chest is I'm made of metal and robot parts. My dad's not going to be happy to see me, okay? I don't want him to see me like this. Don't call me Book in front of him. Call me Red.
I don't see a monster. I just see Book. You've been through a lot. People change.
Just call me Red, okay?
Ocean grimaces. I don't like it, but all right, Red.
I don't see a monster either. I see someone who just thinks they know a little bit more about Aragon than they actually do.
Did you watch our Jeopardy?
No, I was there. It's me, Mike.
Wait, Mike is still here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Mike, are you real or not?
What the fuck do you mean when you say that? And then it goes back. The theme music ends and you're upside down again. You're back being held by the snare that you now think may have been set by your papa. And Mike is stumbling back, or no, sorry. When it comes back, Mike is on the ground, but he's like pushing himself up. And Charles McCready says, this is your last chance. Leave these hallowed grounds at once so I can very respectfully steal their treasures.
Charles, I know where your son is. Do you recognize me?
No, I don't know. I'm not friends with any Nazis. But
I'm not a Nazi, Charles. We were buddies. We're friends. I helped you escape.
oh, did I know you back at the old institute?
Yes, I helped you escape.
Oh, yes. Excellent. Oh, sorry, I don't recall you. I had so many students, but if you know where my son is, I'm a little confused because the position of the Temple of the Thousand Moons is only released during the 7th lunar eclipse. No, 9th. Wait, 9th, and we're at the 7th.
Regardless, I have a friend. He's an astronomer. He knows a lot about space. I think he can explain to you this better than I can, but I know where your son is. But if we can get to him, he can help you find his son, your son.
This is give me a sway someone roll. I forgot we were playing a game where we're supposed to roll dice.
No, it's just I have more cool. 4 snake eyes again.
A 4? You've rolled.
I've rolled 2 snake eyes today.
I don't believe a thing you're saying, but I will spare your life if you pledge allegiance to the legs of our great leader FDR.
Sure.
And abandon my enemies.
Yeah, sure. Will you help me get my friend?
Yeah. Where is he?
The trees. I was like, I didn't see where he went. He just ran in there.
No.
But what do we do about these guys?
I think I can go find your friend. Don't worry about that. And I think you can deal with these guys right here. And he tosses you something. And as you catch it, it's a grenade that already has the pin pulled out. And he darts away.
Ocean tosses it a little bit and throws it over towards the Nazis.
Give me an attack someone roll.
I'm good at this. Come on, Ocean. You're good at this part. That's the Ocean I know. That's an 11 for attack somebody.
Excellent. Choose 2.
Get them out of my way and pin them down.
Okay. Perfect. This grenade explosion goes off, and I'm not going to track the damage to them because your main goal is getting them away from here. So there's a couple that are kind of caught in the blast, and they like go soaring through the air in a very cinematic way where you see the same explosion like 3 times because it's single cam. All of the rest of the Nazis sprint away. And the last one, you see Mike look back over the hill and he shakes his fist at you. I'll be back for you. And then he disappears running away, and you hear a Jeep start up, or whatever the Nazi version of a Jeep is, a Volkswagen Beetle.
Yeah, he points at it with his shovel and says, and I'll be ready, Mike Wazowski.
And you look up, and Charles is already in the distance near the tree line. And Book, you see him pop up, and the boomerang quickly leaves his hand and chops through the rope in just a smooth motion as you tumble down to the ground.
I land in the creek, I assume.
Yes. Yeah, you splash down, and he goes, your friend has spoken highly of you, but if there's one other smell of lie from you two, I'm not going to hesitate to drop you from my current mission. Are you here to help, or are you here to pledge allegiance to that shitty mustached man?
Fuck Mike Wazowski. First of all.
Ocean looks at Book and says, no, Red here is a big fan of FDR.
Yeah. Hey, Charles, is it?
That's me, Charles McCready, adventurer extraordinaire.
My name's Red.
Red. Nice to meet you. Funny name for a non-Irishman.
God, he's racist too.
Well, maybe I am an Irishman.
Is this a Shawshank situation where you were supposed to be Irish, but you ended up Morgan?
Would you rather call me Mac instead? I don't know.
No, whatever you prefer is fine with me. Come on, Red. I'm sorry, I caught you by the foot there. And he goes and he holds out a hand to help you out of the creek.
I grab his hand.
It feels powerful and fatherly.
Red, I told him you're an astronomer and you can help him find his son.
As he pulls you out of the creek, he like dusts off your shoulder. He picks up your not very good hatchet and hands it to you. And he goes, hold on to this.
Thanks.
And he pats you on the back and turns back towards Ocean.
As he hands me the hatchet, I want to plant my autonomous eye spider drone in one of his pockets.
Ooh.
Okay. I'm now picturing this much smaller than I was picturing it before if you're trying to put in a pocket.
Well, it's like a jacket pocket. His leather jacket pocket. Those things
Yeah,
are
I
roomy.
think he's in a duster, right? He's an adventurer, right?
If it's a spider drone, I was picturing it like the size of like a palm at most. Were you picturing like a big ass fucking spider?
Yeah. I like big spiders.
But it fit into my dinosaur backpack?
Yeah, you also fit 20 pounds of cheese in there. No, it looks like however you want to. I wasn't critiquing it. I was just caught off guard by the size of it. But you can definitely try.
What's the point of a giant drone? That's not a good spider drone. People be like, wow, what's that big fucking thing?
Give me hold on. It does say you have no control over it other than to forget about it when you're not interested. You did just buy it. I'm going to be extra nice right now. Give me try something challenging roll.
God damn. That's aggro again, right?
Yes.
I failed.
+0.
I rolled a 5.
God, we are failing.
I've been rolling like absolute dog shit. Huh.
You think you put it in his pocket. And you think he doesn't notice.
Oh my God.
He always, before he talks, every time he finds his way to be standing on the highest thing nearby. So he takes like a few steps up to the side of like a root of a tree and he goes, "Now, I don't know if I'm supposed to divert from my current mission of collecting this idol before those Nazis do, but you guys are kind of throwing a B plot at me with this location of the Temple of 1,000 Moons. Explain yourselves."
Well, like I was saying, my friend here, Red, he's an astronomer. He knows a lot about space and planetary orbits and eclipses and things. And I think, and he looks at Red and gives him a big kind of irritated stare, that you might have the calculations wrong for the eclipse that needs to occur to find your son.
You only had half of the idol, and on the other half, it says, "And take back
-2. Yes.
2 eclipses in honor of Bastet."
Yeah. Pompeii. Yeah, them.
What?
Keep going. It's fine.
So the eclipse is tonight. It's tonight. Or is it the full moon? The full moon's tonight.
That's a great time for an eclipse.
Yeah. So we have to find the temple now so that we can be there when it opens.
Oh no, I was not prepared for this. I thought I had at least half a season before I'd have to finish this up. Okay, where do we have to go? Do you know? I have some ideas. And he swirls out some maps, and you see he has just so many maps. It looks like, since you guys know the conceit of all this, it looks like he's been doing this for so many seasons, and that there's probably been this like overarching plot line of him trying to get back to his family, but there's been a million things thrown at him that have sent him to countless quests. So he has this map that is completely laid out with all these different crazy adventures of all these different things he recovered, captured, escaped from, crises he averted. Those sorts of things are all, you can kind of see the history laid out on these maps.
So Stu, on the map, I'm assuming he has cool red lines between all of his destinations.
Yes, for when he travels there. Yeah.
On the map, those lines coincidentally all intersect in one spot.
That's very convenient.
And I point to it and I go, every mission you've been on, every artifact you found, they were all clues leading you right. And I tap the spot here.
The Temple of 1,000 Moons beneath my feet. I must have crossed over it 150 times. Makes you think. Well, that's great news because this is exactly half a day's travel away and it's noon.
Awesome. We should go there now. Would you like a snack for on the way? And Book hands him a peppermint patty again.
I must admit it was a little sweet for my taste, but I never say no to a gift from a friend. And he puts his hand on your shoulder. He says, I can't believe you've helped me so much so quickly.
Book turns to the camera and he's like, peppermint patties, perfect snacking for bushwhacking.
That awkward silence existed in real life.
They liked it when we did the Gatorade.
Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of Oops, All Apocalypses. As summer approaches, remember to wear your sunscreen and also to play our episodes on a Bluetooth speaker that you hurl into the ocean so we can increase our aquatic listenership. The music and editing was performed by Stu Masterson. Brady McDonough made all the arts and all the logos. And Jacob always carries around an extra scrunchie on his wrist just in case one of his friends really needs to put their hair up in this awful heat. Love you, bye.
But Stu, your Christian name is your nickname. Like if I called you Stuart, you would vomit.
I would not. People do it to me at work all the time.
Yeah, and you don't like it. I can tell.
I have you on my phone as Stubert.
That's a good one. I like Stubert. I like Stoopy Poopy. I like Stubby. I like Stoopy Dooby Doo. Though really the only part of my name I don't like is that UA transition that shouldn't exist. Stuart. Ugh. It sounds like a dog vomiting.
I think it's because you're saying it wrong. I think it's supposed to flow together. Stuart. That just flows and it's fine.
Jacob, should I start calling him Ewart or Stua?
Those are both the worst.
Stua.
Hawk Stua.
Oh, Stuart. Oh, God.
People are not a fan of that phrase anymore.
Hey, they don't know when this was recorded. It could still be hip.